Salut, my name is Alex, and in the last few videos we've been looking at the two French words lui and leur. What they mean, when they mean the same thing as each other, when they mean different things to each other, how they compare in English, and more. So in this video I want to put our new knowledge to the test and just give you some hypothetical and yet realistic things you could hear or say when you're in a restaurant or a bar using lui or leur. So if you're ready, allez, c'est parti. All the French sentences that you're going to hear in this video come straight from my imagination, but they are realistic ones that you could encounter or could need to say. And they all involve lui and leur. First of all, imagine that you've arrived at the restaurant with your partner and you're waiting for your two friends, but they aren't there yet. He or she asks you, where are they? You can say, je viens de leur parler au téléphone. Ils sont sur le chemin. Je viens de leur parler au téléphone. Ils sont sur le chemin. So here is an example of talking about multiple people. So you use the third person indirect object pronoun of leur, and with the verb parler, you need to put that before the verb. So je viens de leur parler. Je viens de leur parler. Now, a second scenario. Perhaps you're at the restaurant and the waiter comes over and says, vous êtes prêts? Vous avez choisi? To mean, are you ready? Have you chosen? But you tell him, non, on attend encore une personne. On attend encore une personne. C'est leur fille. C'est leur fille. No, we're still waiting for one more person. It's their daughter. It's their daughter. So here, leur is what we call a possessive article. It shows that it's their daughter. The daughter belongs to the people you're talking about, perhaps your friends. Leur fille. So in the previous sentence, leur was an indirect object pronoun replacing someone, or two people in that case, the friends. Je viens de leur parler. And in this case, it's completely different. It's a different word. It just happens to be spelled the same. Leur fille. Third situation, imagine that you're at the table, perhaps you're ordering for your son, and you're going to say, pour lui, ce sera l'entrecôte. Pour lui, ce sera l'entrecôte. So you're saying for him, it will be the ribs. That's literally how it translates. For him, pour lui, ce sera l'entrecôte. So here, the use of lui is what we call a pronom tonique. Pronom tonique, and when you're using him, for example, in French, with pour or for, you need to use a pronom tonique, and the pronom tonique for him is lui. If it was for your daughter, you'd say pour elle. Pour elle. As we said in the previous video, when you're using a pronom tonique and you want to say her, you can't say lui. It's pour elle. The waiter might then follow up with très bien. Et la cuisson? Très bien. Et la cuisson? Very good. And how do you want that entrecôte cooked? La cuisson. You say saignant, s'il vous plaît, for example. Now maybe you're in the bar and you've ordered a beer. You've ordered a white beer. You say, oui, je prends une bière blanche, s'il vous plaît. Je prends une bière blanche, s'il vous plaît. And then perhaps drinking a white beer reminds you of someone dear to you, reminds you of a friend that you don't see anymore, that you used to drink beer with. So you might say, à chaque fois que je bois une blanche, je pense à lui. À chaque fois que je bois une blanche, je pense à lui. So here is the sort of exception where penser uses the preposition of à, but unlike the other verbs which use à, you don't replace the a and the person and with lui and move it before penser. You keep the a and you just add the pronom tonique of lui there. Again, if it was a female friend, it would be je pense à elle. Je pense à elle. But in this case, it is a male friend we're talking about, so it's à lui. Now remember earlier you ordered the ribs for your son, l'entrecôte. Well, perhaps he's having trouble cutting it. So you ask your partner or whoever you're with to give him a hand. You can say, donne-lui un coup de main. Donne-lui un coup de main. Now this is something we didn't cover in the previous videos. It's using donner in the imperative voice, sort of like a way to give an order, give a suggestion. Donne-lui. So because donner uses lui when we're talking about him or her, you can say donne-lui. This would be the same if it were your daughter, for example. Because donner uses lui, no matter the gender, you say donne-lui in the imperative voice. Donne-lui un coup de main. And now at the end of the meal, perhaps there's still some left on your son's plate. So you're going to speak for him like you've been doing the rest of the meal for this hypothetical situation. And you're going to say, excusez-moi, il lui en reste encore. Pourrait-on avoir un doggy bag, s'il vous plaît? Excusez-moi, il lui en reste encore. Pourrait-on avoir un doggy bag, s'il vous plaît? Now, I've already talked about using doggy bag in French to ask for just that, a doggy bag or a box to take the rest home. I'll put that up here. But in this sentence, what's interesting for us is we say il lui en reste. Il lui en reste. Now, it's a fixed sort of expression in French to say il reste, which means there remains or there is left. It uses the impersonal subject here of il. It's not saying he. Just remember, il reste means there is left. And you see here that rester is another verb where lui goes in front of it. Because the full form is rester à quelqu'un. Rester à quelqu'un. But we almost never ever see that full structure. We'll always see like il lui reste or il me reste or just il reste. Now, perhaps you're not in a restaurant, but you're in a bar with your close friends. You know, you use very informal language with your close friends. And one of them, stupidly or accidentally, has left his wallet at home, so he needs you to pay for him. So you nudge your other friend and you say, "Hey, il a oublié son portefeuille. File-lui des sous. File-lui des sous." Hey, il a oublié son portefeuille. He's forgotten his wallet. He's forgotten his wallet. File-lui des sous. So this is, again, the imperative voice, but this is on the verb filer. Filer, which when you're using it in this context, it's an informal verb and it means to pass or to fling or to give some of something. In this case, we say des sous, and des sous is a slang word or informal term for money. Give him some cash. Des sous. So file-lui, because it's just the same form as donner, donner à quelqu'un. You filer à quelqu'un, and then in the imperative voice you need file-lui, file-lui. And of course, in this scenario, if you had multiple friends that needed to borrow money, you could say file-leur des sous, file-leur des sous. So that is just a few of the many ways you could use lui and leur in real life situations. I wanted to keep it contained in one context, and that is in a bar or a restaurant. There are a few ways we did not cover that I just don't consider common enough in everyday French to include in this video. If you didn't understand something that I mentioned in this video, you can go ahead and check out the previous ones in the series where I break down more about why we use lui and leur in these different specific ways. If you enjoyed the video, do give it a thumbs up down below, subscribe if you're new to the channel, but until next time, merci beaucoup d'avoir regardé. À la prochaine. Ciao.